The film begins with the story of a 6-year-old boy named Li, who is currently studying at the Shaolin monastery. He lives there and spends his days learning different forms of martial arts. Since childhood, he has dedicated himself completely to training, and even after years of practice, his journey is far from over because he wants to keep improving and become stronger. One day, Li enters the monastery and surprisingly starts apologizing to everyone there. However, he had not committed any mistake, broken any rules, or done anything wrong. The reason behind his apology is completely different. He is apologizing for something that he is about to do in the future. After spending a long time practicing and improving his skills, the day finally arrives when Li has to prove his abilities. His test is against the senior monks of the monastery, where he must show whether he is capable of defeating them in combat. While he stands there talking with the monks, suddenly another monk appears from one side and launches an attack on him. Li is surprised by the sudden attack, but because of his incredible training and fast reflexes, he immediately counters the move. The monk then kicks him with great force, but instead of falling down, Li uses his balance and pushes himself away. He bounces back using a pillar and returns directly into the fight. Now, Li begins fighting in the same aggressive style as the monk and starts attacking continuously. His speed and techniques leave everyone shocked as he keeps landing powerful kicks. Soon, the monk begins losing his strength and realizes that defeating this young boy is not an easy task. Li successfully wins the fight, proving that his skills are far beyond what people expected from someone his age. After this, Li faces another senior monk who is much stronger and holds a sword in each hand. Since Li only has a simple stick, he uses it as his weapon and fights against the sword-wielding opponent. Despite the disadvantage, his speed, intelligence, and martial arts skills help him defeat the second monk as well. Now it is time for the third monk. As Li moves toward him, the monk does not want to give him an easy chance to attack. Instead, he uses a mirror trick to confuse him and creates a bright reflection that blinds Li's eyes for a moment. However, Li quickly understands the situation. As the monk prepares to attack, Li slides forward and launches his own attack at the perfect moment. With this final victory, Li proves that he has the ability to defeat anyone standing in his way because of his perfect martial arts skills. After completing the challenge, he comes out of the monastery, and the people who once underestimated him start looking at him with respect. Those who believed that he was too young to fight or questioned how a child could possess such advanced skills are completely amazed. Even the 3 senior monks begin respecting him because Li has proven that he truly deserves their admiration. Later, Li meets the head monk who tells him about his performance score. Everyone is shocked when they hear that Li has achieved 89 out of 100. The monks explain that reaching such a score is almost impossible for someone of his age, and this achievement proves that Li is ready for the next stage of his journey. Because of his outstanding results, Li gets the opportunity to move to another school for further studies. Along with this, he will have to stay with another family in the city. Hearing this news, Li becomes extremely excited and immediately gets on the bus to begin his new life. When he reaches the city, he goes to live with a scientist and his family. There, he meets the scientist's son and daughter. The daughter's name is Lan, and she is a very talented girl who is also the captain of her school's martial arts club. The story also introduces Lan's brother, who has a very different personality. Unlike his sister, his favorite activity is simply eating food, and he enjoys it more than anything else. One day, Lan receives a call from her father. She sounds upset because her father has not visited their home for a long time. The scientist tries to calm her down and promises that he will come home soon. He tells her not to be sad and also explains the important project he is working on. The scientist reveals that he is creating a special device with incredible abilities and many advantages. However, a group of dangerous criminals is also searching for this technology. Before ending the call, he tells Lan that he has sent her a gift and asks her to open it. When Lan opens the package, she discovers a small panda keychain inside. But this is not an ordinary keychain. It is actually the powerful device her father was working on. The scientist sent it to her because he wanted to protect his daughter from the criminals who were trying to steal it. Soon after, the doorbell rings at Lan's house. When they check, they find that it is none other than Li, who has arrived. Everyone becomes excited seeing him and forgets that they are still connected with the scientist through the video call. Meanwhile, on the other side of the call, something dangerous happens. Criminals have reached the scientist and start questioning him about the device. The scientist pretends that he knows nothing and says he has no idea about any such technology. He explains that he is not working on a dangerous device but only researching technology that could allow his children to communicate with their late grandmother. However, the criminals do not believe his explanation. They check the CCTV footage and discover the truth. The scientist had actually sent the device to his own house. Realizing this, they capture the scientist and make him their prisoner. Back at home, Lan starts examining the gift she received. When she touches the panda keychain, the device suddenly asks for a new password. Lan becomes confused and wonders what kind of password it wants. Unable to understand anything, she eventually becomes tired and keeps the device safely before falling asleep. The next morning, Lan and Lee go to school together. Lan has attached the panda keychain to her bag without knowing that criminals have been watching them for a long time. The criminals soon realize that the keychain is the same device the scientist created. They quickly move toward Lan and steal the keychain from her bag. However, Lee notices everything. Because of his martial arts training, he cannot simply stand and watch them escape with the device. He immediately follows them and uses his fighting skills to confront the criminals. Lan becomes extremely impressed after seeing Lee fight because she finally understands that he is not just an ordinary kid, he is a highly trained martial artist. Together, Lee and Lan fight against the criminals and manage to take back the panda keychain. They teach the criminals a lesson and defeat them badly. But just when they think they have won, the criminals once again manage to snatch the panda keychain back from them. It seems they are ready to continue the fight and will not give up easily. Before the criminal could escape, all the kids quickly bring a dustbin and block his way. Finding no other option to run away, the criminal jumps inside the dustbin. Meanwhile, Lee and the others manage to take the panda keychain back from them. Everyone becomes completely shocked after seeing that such a young boy like Lee is so skilled in martial arts. They cannot believe how someone of his age can fight with such speed and power. Soon, all the kids start praising him and appreciate his incredible abilities. After this, the school announces that the child who successfully passes the fitness test will be promoted to the next class. This test is meant to identify those who are exceptionally fit and physically strong. Because of this, all the kids become confident and start believing that they will easily complete every challenge. However, Lan's brother becomes extremely worried because he is overweight, and his weight has increased a lot. He feels that he might fail the test and get left behind compared to the others. After some time, the gym master arrives and announces their first activity. He tells everyone that they will have to participate in a race where they must complete 100 meters within a given time. As soon as the race begins, all the kids start running, but Lee surprises everyone by completing 200 meters in the same time. While others struggle to finish even one round, Lee manages to complete 2 full rounds effortlessly. The next activity is the push-up challenge. All the kids are asked to complete 5 push-ups within the given time, but Lee shocks everyone by doing 100 push-ups. Not only does he complete 100 push-ups, but he also performs them using only one hand. Even more surprising, Lee performs push-ups while standing in the opposite direction, showing his extraordinary strength and balance. Seeing this, all the kids begin praising him, and Lee himself feels excited about his performance. The next challenge is jumping, but Lee is completely relaxed because this activity is extremely easy for him. For someone with his training, jumping is nothing more than a simple task. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to the scientist, who is still being tortured by the criminals because they want information about the device. Back at the school, Lan's martial arts match is about to begin. Seeing her skills, Lee thinks that since both of them are talented fighters, they should compete against each other. He suggests the idea to Lan and she agrees. Soon, a match begins between Lee and Lan. All the students become extremely excited because 2 of the best fighters are facing each other. Everyone becomes curious to know who will win, and they gather around to watch the competition. Because everyone's attention is focused on the match, the criminals see this as the perfect opportunity to steal the panda keychain again. They secretly approach Lan's bag and try to remove the device. However, the keychain is tightly attached and they struggle to take it off. At the same time, Lee and Lan continue their match. In the beginning, both of them only defend each other's attacks because they respect each other's abilities. When the moment comes to attack, they both hesitate and refuse to hurt each other. Because of this, the match ends in a tie. As everyone's focus returns to Lee and Lan, the criminals continue trying to steal the keychain. But when Lee and Lan notice what is happening, they immediately leave the match and rush toward them. Seeing them coming, the criminals quickly escape with the device. To stop Lee and Lan from following them, they take a girl hostage and use her as a way to threaten everyone. After this incident, Lan goes to the principal's office and informs the police that her father's device has been stolen. The police assure them that they will recover the device and catch the criminals. Meanwhile, Lee sits sadly because he blames himself for everything. He thinks that if he had not started the match, Lan would have been with her bag, and the keychain would not have been stolen. When everyone gathers around him, they tell him not to blame himself because the incident was not his fault. Hearing this, Lee feels relieved and becomes calmer. The story then returns to the scientist, who is still being held captive by the criminals. The criminals now have the device and activate their system, but the machine immediately asks for a password. The scientist refuses to give them the password, so the criminals try their best to break into the system and hack it. However, they fail repeatedly. Frustrated, they return to the scientist. At that moment, a message arrives on the scientist's phone. It is from his daughter Lan, who writes, "Father, tomorrow is my birthday. I will wait for you." The criminals see this message message and use it as an opportunity to threaten him. They tell the scientist that tomorrow is his daughter's birthday and he will not be able to attend it, but they will definitely be there for their next plan. The next day arrives and it is Lan's birthday. She is preparing for her birthday celebration at home while her friends go outside to bring gifts for her. Suddenly, Lan receives a message on her phone from her father. The message says, "My daughter, come outside. I am waiting for you." Lan becomes extremely happy and quickly runs outside, thinking that her father has finally come to meet her. But when she reaches outside, she discovers that it is not her father. Instead, the criminals are waiting there. They attack her and kidnap her. Luckily, all the kids arrive at the location at the right moment and see the criminals taking Lan away. Without wasting time, they follow them on their bicycles and chase them all the way to the scientist's laboratory. Inside the laboratory, the criminals hold a knife against Lan's neck and threaten the scientist. They demand the password for the device. However, the scientist does not know the password because he had sent the device to his daughter as a gift. The first time the device was activated, it was Lan who turned it on, which is why it asked her for the password. Now the criminals realize that only Lan can unlock the device. They move toward her and demand that she tell them the password. Lan becomes confused and asks, "What password?" These are the exact same words she said when she first activated the device. Surprisingly, the system accepts her response as the password. The device unlocks and the criminal system finally starts working. The criminals become excited because they are now ready to complete their deal with their buyer. But before they can finish, Lee and Lan's brother Lin enter the laboratory and begin fighting against them. At the same time, Lan's younger brother secretly moves through the laboratory and successfully frees both his sister and his father. When the main criminal sees that all his men are being defeated and everyone has entered the laboratory, he decides to escape. He grabs his briefcase and runs away, hoping to save himself. Lan and the scientist immediately chase after him. Meanwhile, Lin fights against the criminal's strongest assistant outside the laboratory. The assistant is extremely powerful, and Lin struggles to defeat him alone. Seeing this, Lee joins the fight. Together, they use their combined skills and begin attacking the assistant from different directions. The battle becomes intense as they use many martial arts techniques and strategies. After a long fight, they finally manage to defeat the powerful assistant. Soon after, the police arrive at the laboratory and arrest all the remaining criminals. They are taken into custody and sent to prison. In the end, Lan, Lee, the scientist and everyone else succeed in stopping the criminals. Because of their bravery and courage, the kids are rewarded and appreciated. With this victory, the movie comes to an end.